where we at.
Recording in progress.
Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Shabbat? And I meant to say again, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Again, this is the day, this is the Assembly of the Righteous, which is on the Sabbath day. Today at the day of the Sabbath, which is April 18th, 2026. April 18th, 2026. And we're here on the Assembly of the Righteous, where the righteous come together in the name of the Father. This is part two. This is part two of Assembly of the Righteous and First Kings chapter 16. This is where we at. We're in First Kings chapter 16. Now I'm going to go like a little recap. We just had a little conversation as well as we was going back and forth and getting everything together for part two. I'd like to thank Sister Nicole Bell, my beautiful baby, Miss Sister Joanne, Sister Ronnie Miller, and Julia for being here, and everybody who came and left. We like to thank them for coming and being here at this point in time. But right now, we're in chapter 16, when Jehu prophesied against Bahasha, which is from the tribe, of Issachar. And over here in chapter 15, you'll notice that Baasha, he arose, he came up in verse 27, and Baasha, the son of Ahiah of the house of Issachar, conspired against him, and Baasha smote him at Gibbethon, which belongeth to the Philistines, for Nadab and all Israel laid siege to Gibbethon. I say, even in the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, did Baasha slay him and reign in his stead. So he slay. He is of the tribe of Issachar, and Nadab was the king under Jeroboam. Jeroboam passed. Nadab was the king at the time, which was the son of Jeroboam, and then Baasha ended up killing him. Baasha killed him, and then got in his stead, and then he after he reigned, he got the same curse in the beginning of 16. You'll see he got the same curse that was put on Jeroboam, as we just went over a few moments ago. You'll see the curse of Jeroboam in chapter 14, verse 10. It says, therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam. This is 14 and 10. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisses against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, as a man taketh away the dung till it be all gone. And we know that if you see some mess, you gonna get rid of it. Don't nobody want no mess laying around, lingering or nothing. You gonna get rid of it. I can't stand it. Verse 11. Him that died of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that died died in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. For Yah has spoken it. So he said those things gonna happen to him. But what ended up happening over here in chapter 16, in the beginning of 16, where we at? It states that the Creator said in verse 3, behold, I will take away the I don't know posterity is posterity postery. I don't know what that is, of Bashan, and a posterity, whatever it is. Because y'all find out what that is, please. Can somebody give me that information?
That word is posterity.
Prosperity or posterity?
Pos, P-O-S, posterity.
Posterity. What does it mean?
I don't know what it means.
That's what I'm wanting. That's what I'm trying to find out. Can someone give me that word? Um, Posterity of his house, and will make thy house like the house of Jeroboam. See, like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Him that dieth of Baasha in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dieth of his in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. That's the same prophecy that was given to Jeroboam we just read over here in 14:10. It's the same thing happened with him now in chapter 16, verse 5, 4, 3 and 4.
It says in the Bible for prosperity, it says in the Bible refers to a person's descendants or all future generations that follow them. It comes from the um that's what the prosperity means
Did
in the Bible.
you get anything else, Joe? Thank you, Nicole. Joanne, did you
Uh,
get anything else?
Posterity, yeah, is basically the future generations, the descendants. Um,
Same thing he told Jeroboam.
yeah,
Actually, what he did. Yeah, sound like
yeah,
the
the
same.
generations. As example, the artifacts were kept in a museum for posterity. Example, he left a large fortune to his posterity. So it's generations and descendants.
Okay, so yeah, so his generation descendants gonna be wiped out, just like he did with
Successors, heirs, lineage,
right.
and offspring.
Right. So what happened here is this at verse 7. And also by the hand of the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanai, came the word of Yah against Baasha and against his house. Listen, even for all the evil that he did in the sight of Yah, in provoking him to anger with the work of his hand, and bringing like the house of Jeroboam, and because he killed him. So right there, that he did the same thing, but verse 12. Thus did Zimri destroy all the house of Baasha. He did the exact same thing. He destroyed everything. The posterity, you said you call it? Posterity?
Posterity.
Posterity. Right here. This is the conclusion of what was said right here in verse 12. Thus did Zimri destroy all the house of Baasha according to the word of Yah, which is what he just did, just said, which he spake against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. And that was over here in the beginning and starting in verse 16, verse 1 through 7. For all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Elah, the son his son, by which they sinned and by which they made Israel to sin, in provoking Yah of Israel to anger with their vanities. Now, that's when I went into vanities earlier about the vanities of the people of today and the stuff that they're doing, and then went into the Bitcoin and all the other stuff people doing today, right? So now that's majority of what happened in 16. And then Zimri sat on the throne for 7 days, and then all Israel appointed Omri, Omri, the captain of that made him king. And all of them went up there and they went and took over Tyre and made him king. So what happened was Zimri went in the house and it burnt down on him. It caught on fire and it burnt down on him. So now when Omri's reign over Israel, Omri is the king now. All Israel set him up for being the host of the captains and made him king over Israel, which is the 10 tribes. Now, if we look and understand everything that's going on now Omri is king over Israel. Now, I don't know what tribe he's from. We haven't heard that yet, but we'll find out maybe later on. We don't come in right here. But now we're at we're still at chapter 16, but we're at verse 21 right now. So right now we're at verse 21, and it says, then were the people of Israel divided into two parts. Now, Israel is divided into two parts. Half of the people followed Tibni, 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 of the son of Genath, I'm going to say Genath. I'm just going to say it like that. To make him king, and half follow Omri. You see that? And half follow Omri. But the people that follow Omri prevailed against the people, because all Israel went up with him, prevailed against the people that followed Tibni. Tibni, the son of Genath. So Tibni died and Omri reigned. Okay, so he died some type of way. So people was killing people off, or whatever happened. In the 31st year, so that means the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, in his 31st year. So all this stuff is going on while these other kings, all these other people standing up in Israel. Asa is still king in Judah, doing right by the Creator. But these other people is killing off, falling off, fights, and all this stuff is going on in Israel. In the 31st year of King Asa, king of Judah, began Omri to reign over Israel. 12 years. 6 years reigned he in Tirzah, and he brought the hills Samaria. And he bought the hill Samaria of Shemar for 2 talents. This is where Samaria comes in at now. This is where the word Samaria comes in at, because we've always talked about all the different tribes, but right here is where Samaria comes in for 2 talents of silver. This is where Samaria comes in at. Mm. 24. Let me go over this again, y'all, because this is the first time I hear of Samaria, y'all. This is how we find out key points. And he brought the hill Samaria of Shemir for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built after the name of Shemir, owner of the hills Samaria, out of Shemir. I'm going to put up first of Samaria. I like putting clues in here so we know what's what. S-A-M-A-R-I-A. First of Samaria. Remember that old story when they talk about there was a man of Samaria, that the Good Samaritan, Samaritan. This is the first time that I'm hearing of it since we've been reading. But Omri wrought evil, but he did evil. But he wrought evil in the eyes of Yah. There you go. In the eyes of Yah. And did worse than that were before him. Dang. For he walked in all the ways of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin, to provoke Yah of Israel to anger with their vanities. Now the rest of the acts of Omri, man, boy. All these people can't get it right for nothing. Son of Nebat, and his sins, in his sins, wherewith he made Israel to sin, to provoke Yah of Israel to anger, with their vanities. Still vanities, y'all. That name is strong right here now, isn't it? Now the rest of the acts of Omri, which he did, and his might, so his might, that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Right? Like they can't win for losing, and they keep losing because they keep going against the word of Yah. Ahab. Oh, now here comes Ahab. All right. Here we go. Ahab reigns over Israel. So Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria. This is where they made the city of Samaria, because he said right here, and built, 24, and he brought the hill Samaria of Shamar for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill. He built on the hill, and called the name of, he called it a city. This is where the city was built at, which he built after the name of Shamir, owner of the hill Samaria. But Omri wrought evil in the eyes of Yah, and did worse than all that were before him. For he walked in all the way of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin, to provoke Yah of Israel to anger with their vanities. Now the rest of the acts of Omri, which he did, and his might that he showed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Ahab reigns over Israel. Now, verse 28. So Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his stead. Ahab, his son, reigned in his stead. And in the 38th, he was 38th year of Ahaz. He wasn't 38. It was Ahab, king of Judah. And all this stuff going on while Ahaz is going on in Judah, began Ahab to the son of Omri to reign over Israel. And Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. He reigned 22 years. And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of Yah, above all that was before him. You see that? They all got worse and worse. So that means the stuff that people did, they got eviler, meaning that you have to do something worse to get to the next level. You have to do something worse than that to get to the next level. Look at today's time. In the time, let me just break it down like this for everybody to have a better understanding. Look in the time of the 70s until the time of the 80s, right? In the time of the 70s, you know, we had families together, couples, and everything happening. In the 80s, people started to break off, do their own thing. They got into the MTV and all this other stuff going on in the 80s. This is when the Jerry curl came. This is when women started actually cutting their hair off and putting the weave in. This is actually when it started at this time. Getting this weave and people, the Jerry curl came, because I used to have it, you know. And that was in the 80s. Then come the 90s when the crack era came. Came worse, right? The crack era came. That was not crack era came in the 80s going into the 90s. And then crack era came, and then from there came what? Dope houses and stuff like that, and then you had the dope bosses, and it just got worse as it went. Evil upon evil upon evil upon evil. You see what I'm saying? That's why I kept saying, and they kept doing worse than their fathers. The evil came, then more evil came upon that, then more evil came upon that. And Ahab came. The evil in the sight of Yah. Now, Ahab marries Jezebel. Y'all know about all that, don't you? Woo, boy. Something is something is something is something. Now, Ahab married Jezebel. Verse 31. Woo, boy, y'all can see how deep this story is getting. Ahab married Jezebel. 31. And it came to pass as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, as it had been a light thing for him to do that, walking in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ithbal, king of the Zidonians. King of this is your Easter. This is the goddess of fertility and all that kind of junk. You know what I'm saying? The king of the Zodians, and went and served Baal. See, that's what he was doing. He went and served Baal and worshiped him. Ahab.
That must have been something, an Israelite king worshiping and serving Baal.
Yeah, it was something. They had been doing it the whole time, but because Solomon started doing it.
Wow.
Solomon started doing it. Solomon started doing it when he started following the Zodiac, because he had wives of all kind. He started worshiping all kinds of stuff. He started doing all kinds of things.
So that's why Father told us not to marry strange.
There you go. Father's seen all this stuff long before it happened. He's seen everything that's happening now long before it even come to pass. That's why he said it shall come to pass. I mean, it's going to happen. Verse 32. I hit 31 again first. Ahab marries Jezebel. And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ithbal, king of the Zodians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. 32. And he reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he had built in Samaria. See, he built that in Samaria.
Wow.
Oh, yep. Hold on. Oh, this is going to be on point.
I think that word is king of the Zidonians.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of the Zidonians. And Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke Yah, father Israel, to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him. Now you see how each one did worse as they went? No different than our timeline in today's time, the things that our people have done compared to where we at right now. And can y'all understand now why even though the people, this is the whole point. Thank you, Father. Let me go ahead with 34 and I'm going to a scenario real quick. Because this is coming to me real quick. 33 again. And Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke Yah of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him. In his days did Hiel, the Bethelite, build Jericho and laid the foundations thereof in Abiram, his firstborn, and set up the gates thereof in his youngest son's Segub, and his youngest son Seg, Segub, whatever that may be, if y'all can look that up. His youngest son Segub, according to the word of Yah, which he spake by Yahshua, the son of Nun. Okay. In his days did Hiel the Bethelite built Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof in Abiram, his firstborn, and set up the gates thereof in his youngest son Segu. I guess this son Segub, according to the word of Yah, which he spake by Yahshua the son of Nun. This shouldn't have been this. In his days did, and who day? And Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke Yah of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel that wrote before him. In his days did Hiel, Hiel, the Bethelite, build Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof in Abiram, his firstborn, and set up the gates thereof in his youngest son Segub. I don't know what that is. According to the word of Yah, which he spake by Yahshua. This right here is kind of off to me. Gotta look at that a little bit deeper. Gotta look at that a little deeper, see what this is about.
The name, what they're saying, they said it literally means to exalt, wait a minute.
What the name Segub?
Yes.
It means what you say?
Exalted. Elevate or fortified.
That's what his name.
Huh?
That's what his name means.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hebrew name appearing twice in the Old Testament, meaning elevated, secure, or exalted.
Okay.
That's what his name means.
Yeah, that's what it says, and it says which refers to something being high, secure, or inaccessible.
So what it sounds like it's saying in verse 34 here, in his days did Hiel, whoever that may be, the Bethelite, build Jericho. So that was in somebody's day, but it couldn't have been in Ahab's day because it was long before Ahab came about.
But it also says here the name appears in two vassal different contexts. One was a warning of judgment, and the other as a record of legacy.
Okay, that might be this then. In his days, might be the record then. In his days did Hiel, the Bethelite, build Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof in he laid the foundation thereof in Abiram, in Abiram, his firstborn, and set up the gates thereof in his youngest son. I guess set up on high, according to the word of Yah, which he spoke by Joshua, the son of Nun. So I guess, and Ahab made a grove. Then we got a semicolon. And Ahab did more to provoke Yah, the father of into anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him. So I guess this doesn't go with 34. 33, I think, is separate from 34. In his days, so 34 in his days, this must be talking about in the days of Joshua. In his day, Hiel. We gotta find out who Hiel is. The Bethelite. Once we find that out, we'll understand a little bit more about that point of view.
Okay, well, do this have anything to do with Jeroboam and the son Nebai?
Nearby, where you at?
No, I'm saying do what we're reading now. Do this have because now these kings are coming in, because God got rid of the other ones.
What happened is now we gotta let's look at the timeline right here. In chapter 16, we got Yehu's prophecy against Baasha. Yehu's prophecy against Baasha, Baasha, he passes because number one is that the creator put the same curse on him that was put on um Jeroboam. Baasha got rid of Jeroboam's seed. And then what happened is Zimri, he took over where Elah, Elah, Ella reigned in his stead. After Ella, Zimri killed Ella. After after Basha, Ella was in power. Zimri killed him. I think he killed him. He reigned over Israel in 2 years in verse 8. For 2 years he reigned. Then Zimri came and said, well, he was drinking himself. He said, I'm gonna kill him. Whatever he said. He drunk himself. He killed him. After he killed Baasha, or should I say Ella, he killed Ella, and he sat in there for 7 days. Zimri reigned 7 days in Tarsus. He only reigned 7 days, and then that's when they got Omri. Omri and Israel came down. They got rid of they didn't get rid of him of Zimri. Zimri died in the fire.
So
Zimri died.
in 16 verse 3, God took away that there was no more dynasty. Nobody else came. No heirs came after in verse 3.
Yeah, because he wiped them out.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, so this is a whole new set of people he's putting in.
Exactly. That's where Eli came in at. Now the rest of the acts of Baasha, what he did in And then verse 6 said, Baasha slept with his father and was buried in Tarshish. And Eli, his son, reigned in his stead. That's in verse 6.
I'm
E-L-A.
sorry, who Hiel is.
Huh?
Hiel.
Okay, hold on real quick. Let's move back and hold that for a minute.
Okay.
Eli, Baasha's son, reigned in his stead. And then when he reigned, when Eli came up, he reigned 2 years. He reigned over begin to Eli, the son of Baasha, to reign over Israel in Tarshish 2 years. That's verse 8. Then the 2 years, that while that was going on, Zimri said was getting drunk, and he said he's gonna kill him. He went and killed him and killed this whole tribe or what have you. And this was the word of the father. And then after Zimri came in, he reigned 7 days. And you can see in the 27th year of Asa, that was his 27th year, Judah did the king of Judah did Zimri reign 7 days in Tirzah. He only reigned 7 days. And then that's when the people got Omri in verse 16. Omri, the captain of the host, they made him king. Then when you come on down, they explain that what's his name? And it came to pass when Zimri saw that the city was taken, he ended up going into the house and he ended up getting burnt alive and died, I guess you can say. Then now Omri become king. Omri and this other dude, who is this other dude I just got you talking about? And Tibni, Tibni. Omri and Tibni. They tried to put Tibni as king, and he beat Tibni out or whatever. And Omri reigned. That's when Omri that's when Omri built the city of Samaria.
But what you're reading here, these are all men.
Of course.
Yeah. So are they some of the Sodomites?
Huh? Where'd that come from?
No, because remember we read something about the
Zidonians?
No, not the Sidonians, the Sodomites.
That was earlier when Asa got all the Sodomites out of the help. That's Asa. That's in Judah.
Right, but aren't they doing the same thing? Because it just says here that it says now he rests and he says so. It says Bahasha slept with his fathers. And
that means he
burnt.
That means he laid dead with his fathers.
That's what it means, slept with his father.
It doesn't mean like he slept physically.
Okay. All right. I thought they were still sodomized. Okay.
No, when they say slept with his father, they talking about no, they died.
Okay.
That's in the grave.
Okay. All right. Thank you for asking.
No, that's all right. Yeah, slept with his father mean that he slept. Mean that that's the grave. That the grave site, the burial area.
Okay.
When they say,
how did they come back alive?
Yeah, no. They talking about slept with their fathers and they died. So as we go on through, then Omri reigned. He actually he bought Samaria, the hill of Samaria, for two talents of silver. For 2 talents of silver, right here. He bought that hill. Then on that hill is where he bought the city. So when he bought that city, that's when they made Samaria. But he still did evil. Then come Ahab, which is his Omri's son. Then Omri slept with his father, which is he died. And Ahab is in power. Now Ahab marries Jezebel. See, they just giving you timeline. If you notice they're not too long, they give you the timeline and give you snippets of certain things in their life that's happening. Then as they go through the timeline, they're letting it be known what was what happened, something. They ain't going through the whole situation because you got to go through Chronicles to see the full story, which we're going to get to at a later time. But this should be in our mind's eye when we get to it, be like, okay, this was said back here. This is how you understand here a little, there a little, and what happens at a certain time. Excuse me. So here, and it says, and he reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he had built in Samaria. 33. And Ahab made a grove. See, he made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke Yah of more to provoke Yah of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him. Then it goes to talk about in his days. I was wondering who days he's talking about, but I don't think this is talking about Ahab days. I'm thinking about in the days of Yahshua. Because this is what I mean by understanding if you go to the end to the beginning. I believe when we look, said, which is spoke by Yahshua, the son of Nun, which is in his days did Ha'il. Now go ahead, baby. Tell me what you're going to say about Ha'il.
Well, Hiel, the Bethelite was, it said he was a man from Bethel who rebuilt the city of Jericho during the reign of King Ahab of Israel. His story is briefly recorded in 1 Kings 16 and 34 as a significant example of divine prophecy being.
So he rebuilt the city in Samaria. Go ahead, baby. I'm listening.
Okay, so I'm looking at, it says, in Ahab's days, Hiel the Bethelite rebuilt Jericho at the cost of Abiram, his firstborn. He laid its foundation, and at the cost of Segub or Segub, his youngest, he set up its gates, according to the word that the Lord has spoken through Joshua, son of Nun.
So something that Joshua said that was supposed to happen, and they didn't do it until this time.
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like.
That was a divine prophecy that probably Joshua spoke that this was going to happen.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's see here now. This is Judges. Let me go to Judges 12 and 4 and see if we got anything on that. Maybe. Or 6 and 26. 6 and 26. Joshua 6 and 20. Let me see something real quick. Joshua 6 and 20. Let's see. This is what studying is about. Joshua, that's Judges 6 and 26. Okay. And Joshua adjourned them at that time, saying, cursed be the man before Yah that rises up and buildeth this city. Okay.
See, he's cursed because he did that.
Hold on. 26. Joshua adjourned them that at the time, saying, cursed be the man. Now you see how words still flow? Cursed be the man before Yah that rises up and buildeth this city, Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn.
Dang.
And in his youngest son shall he set up the gates. You see this? This is how you know from one point to the other. Set the gates of it. 27. So Yah was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country.
Everybody heard about him.
Huh?
Everybody knew about him because of the noise throughout the country.
Check it out. We'll go to verse 25 real quick. It says, and Joshua saved Rahab, the harlot, alive. You see that? He saved Rahab the harlot. You know, she's the one that had the red ribbon out the window. So when they come through, because she saved the guys when they was in the city, when they told her to put a red ribbon out the window, so when we come through, we don't stop you or we don't kill you because you helped us. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that story?
I remember that story.
Yeah. So you helped us. By you helping us, we're not going to come and do nothing to you. So this is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
The harlot alive and her father's household. See, the whole household and all that she had. And she dwelt in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers. See, she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy. There we go. Which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. That's the story right there. This is the story. All right. See, you fell off for a moment. It says,
Yeah.
and Joshua saved Rehab the harlot alive, and her father's household, and all that she had. And she dwelt in Israel even unto this day, because she hid the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. 26 is the key to what we're talking about. And Joshua adjured them at that time, saying, Cursed be the man, for Yah has rised up and built. Cursed be the man before Yah that riseth up and buildeth this city Jericho. He shall lay the foundation thereof in his firstborn, and in his youngest son shall he set up the gates of it. So Yah was with Jericho. Y'all see how the word of the Creator is?
Yeah, but this is the same Joshua that after Moses died,
Yep, same one.
God put him.
In charge.
To lead them out of.
Right.
Okay.
But this was prophecy. This is a prophecy, because Joshua said he laid, when Joshua prophesied something, he gave what happened right here.
Okay.
Joshua chapter 6, 25 through 27. Actually, it's 26 and 27. I'm going to say 25 through 27. Yep. That is it. That's the reason why I say I knew it was something to it. That's why we got to understand scripture and what was prophesied. Because sometimes something to go to somewhere and people don't even know, well, what are they talking about? They just reround through it and they don't do no research. This is why we study where we are. This is Joshua 6, 25 through 27. And that's right where it was said. Curse, Joshua said.
So Most High didn't want the building to be rebuilt. Is that why?
Remember, Joshua went around. They was blowing the horn. They went around the city several times.
Yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm.
So
and the walls came tumbling down.
there you go.
Okay. Yeah.
He not only gave a prophecy about the oldest and the youngest son. Not oldest, the firstborn, yep, which is the oldest. In his youngest son shall he set up the gates. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. This was prophecy. You see the word of the Creator in the book, as you can see the story. So let me ask y'all.
Turn around. My phone just jumped off for no reason.
So let me ask y'all. What do y'all get out of this chapter 16 so far? Especially on the second half.
I would say that you got a better understanding of, well, to me, I got an understanding why Israel had fallen so deep into sin.
Mm-hmm.
Through all saw these kings who, like the one king where he said he had upset his father most high more worse than all the kings over Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so for him to be over a nation of people and he upset father more worse, then that means he has to be not listening to anything that he said at all.
They all got worship.
What I'm getting from it, it still brings me back to chapter 20. Because they're still using silver.
You mean Exodus? You mean Exodus 20?
What did I say?
You just said chapter 20. We know which chapter.
Yes, Exodus 20. Yes, it brings me back to Exodus 20
Mm-hmm.
when God's telling them not to use any silver, no gold, or no altars, and they're using silver, gold, altars, still doing, and that which brought under vanity, and they're still doing this stuff.
And that's why he was bringing God Father more to wrath than any king, because the things that he were telling them not to do, they were still doing it.
Yeah.
And then he's plummeting Israel more and more into sin and farther away from where they're the Most High.
Right.
I was going to say something a little earlier, but I wanted to read it on through. Okay. What I'm seeing here in 16, especially at this point here, and as I was saying a little earlier, I'm going to break it from here. As I was saying a little earlier, it's just like from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and I was getting ready to go to where we at today. If we see how we if we look how we plummeted from the 50s, even though we weren't in the 50s, our parents was, in the 60s, around the time we were born, in 70s, right? How everything started dwindling down, how everybody was more of a family, and how the family started to break apart. Mm-hmm. How more sin started to happen as these families started to break apart. Mm-hmm. And as the families, even though we got to understand who was in charge of it, the quote unquote kings of today, but the king of today is Esau, which is over the system. Yeah. Which is actually caused us, our women, to be breaking up from the man, because they had what? Welfare, which started it all. You can't have a man in the house. The kings, whoever supposed to be in charge, they set it up because they set the system up. The system is your quote unquote, we're going to say physical army, but let's just say the army. The system, which is your welfare, your food stamps. These are the things that the people are supposed to, because they're under the system. So being under the system, the king, the presidents, the Senate, and all these are the people in the king's house. These is like the kings over the quote unquote government or corporation, we can say. The ones up under the corporation itself, which is the paperwork, right? The paperwork is that now, you can't have a man in the house, you can't get welfare. They stopped the men from getting a job because the system is the one who set it up for the men not to get work. They set up for certain people to get work. Then they had put DEI in there because they had everything was all Caucasian. They had to make sure at least they had one melanated person in the job, right? Look at how everything came down the line. One melanated person in the job. Now you got one melanated person in. Now it started to grow. Well, okay, we got so many melanated people in the job. They still over everything. They still control everything. That's just in the system. Now look at it on the streets. On the streets, we got children that got broken homes. We got fathers with some children in the house. Most of the time, it was women that had children in the house with no fathers, right? Now we got the women being whores and the men being whoremongers. We got children. Then it got to the point where now the women have to work because now they cut off the money so much from the system. Now women have to get out there and work and leave their children at home. Now they have to leave the children at home. They got to go to work. Now comes daycare. Now the children is too young to be, you got daycare now. Now you got to pay for children to go to school out of your care. Now you got to go to work. The man got to go to work to do whatever he got to do. Man, now got to time start paying child support. Oh, look at how everything has happened throughout time. The Creator is here. Looking at what the kings of the earth is doing. Looking at what the system of the earth is doing to the people. The people is just falling in line, some with it, some without it. Some trying to do right, some trying to do wrong. A lot of them is oblivious to the truth. This is where the world is corrupt and out of shape and out of power.
And falling into darkness.
Exactly. What you said earlier when we were asleep, when we was in bed, shall I say. The whole world is in the darkness. They're all doing the thing. Everybody is right in their own way, doing what they think is right. The Bible ain't never changed, though. It changed to the point of throughout time the way they made it, but the Creator never changed. That's why the word of the Creator is in the Bible. You just got to seek it to understand it, to do it. That came all the way down to when, as I said, Barack Obama came out of nowhere. He came up. Matter of fact, it was another one when Bush, when he won one election, or no, the first election he won, they were throwing eggs at him.
And shoes.
See what I'm saying? They were throwing stuff at Bush. I remember that. They were throwing eggs at Bush. Now, if he really won, why would the people do that? Now, Barack started to rise out of nowhere. Barack, at first you had all these other people running. Next thing you know, Barack Lane come up out of nowhere. You hear Barack, then next thing Barack, Obama, bam, Obama. People praising and crying and everything for Obama, thinking that he gonna be a change. What did Obama do? Gay marriage. You don't see really nothing that he did for the people. I don't really care. I'm not a part of the system, no way.
No, he didn't do anything for the people.
And that's the whole point. But they just looking at a color.
When he did the thing with the housing, the people talked around and their taxes were so high because they had to be taxed on all that money that he gave them for the housing. And when they purchased a new home, that's when it came back and bit them in the butt.
You see that?
So the only thing he did was, didn't he just pretty much lead them back into slavery? I mean,
modern day, but they was already in it. They just didn't know how deep they was in it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, pretty much. I mean, a lot of people became homeless when he came in.
There was a lot going on with Obama that the media tried to cover up and hide and make him look so. They sensationalized him to the point, because guess what we do? We listen to propaganda quickly. We don't look with our own eyes and see whether something has changed or what's different. We listen to what's on the television, what's in our phones, and we hear people sensationalizing him. And once he's been sensationalized, it is hard to get through to the people the truth. There is no way you can be a full-fledged man of Yah and then go against the thing that Yah hate. You just cannot. And
I just thought about it. Well, I can't take back what I just said, but I just thought about it. It pretty much sounds like this man was set up, because after he became president, and what he did run two terms, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he got 2 terms. Now, they gave a little break. Who's after Obama? Was it Trump?
Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't even get to it yet. I hadn't even got to him yet.
Yeah, but now you see what they did. They're saying all this stuff coming out about with the kids, the children, the sex trafficking.
We ain't got there yet. Let me get there, Nicole, because you didn't jump ahead. You jump ahead. What I was going to say is,
I see into the future.
But the point I'm getting at is, before you bring that part out, I was showing how Obama rise out of the dust. How he arose. And then all the stuff that he promoted. And then remember what happened with Trump. Remember, Hillary Clinton was the favorite. Everybody thought she was gonna win. Next thing you know, Trump came up. But now this is the will of the Creator, as far as I'm concerned, because Trump came in. Everybody was against Trump at first, and then we started to see the work that he was doing. Nobody knew anything about Trump, or everybody kept saying he's a businessman and not a politician, not knowing that the politician was the one that's tricking you in your face, smiling in your face, but stabbing you in the back at the same time. Those politicians. But Trump, I think why people dislike Trump, because Trump was coming in like a real debater, and he was coming in saying what he wanted to say, doing, because I never really watched his debates or nothing like that. But when I seen some of the stuff that he would talk about, something like the guy in what's his name? I don't know if it was Gore or it was the guy in Florida. He talked against him wrong. And I didn't say wrong, he talked against him raw. Y'all know who I'm talking about?
Al Gore?
It was either Gore or whoever it was out of Florida. It was somebody that was running for president. And when he went in him, he was going at him hard. He would make him look stupid. I mean, Trump wasn't doing like the average quote unquote politician. Trump was coming, man. When I seen some of the stuff, I like, man, I think that's the reason why I like, because he wasn't coming like, we coming.
He didn't have the etiquette.
There you go.
He didn't have the etiquette of all of those
politicians.
Profile politicians.
Right.
And not only that, Trump held the card of every last one of them. Why? He said, I was once in their club.
That's right.
So he got in there and infiltrated the club. And he knew everything the club was about, what they were doing, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And when the time was right, he came in and said he threw his hat in the ring running for president. And that's why a lot of them they didn't like him at all. And they hardly would speak against some of the things he was saying because they did not want him to let that truth out.
And then go ahead, baby.
I have a question. So why didn't Obama, because he had the same chance, why didn't he bring out what Trump's bringing out? Because he already knew about it.
Obama was with the clique.
Huh?
Trump wasn't with the clique. That's the point.
No, Trump. I know Trump wasn't with the clique, but Obama was.
That's what we saying. That's the answer.
Why didn't he bring it out?
Because he was with the clique. He ain't gonna. If he with you, let's put it like this, if you got crooks, you got two crooks. The system is already the crook. Then Obama coming, he's already a part of the crooks. Now Trump was already separated. He's not even a part of them anymore. But he ended up getting in and he started running. And the people started to see just like I was about to say, when I seen what's his name? The comedian, what's his name? The one that had the show and he quit and went to Africa. I can't think of his name. David Chappelle. When David Chappelle said, "Man, I heard Trump when he said when Hillary said that he don't pay his taxes," he said, "No, I don't." Say you don't pay them neither. He said, "I get the same rights as you do," and he said, "Man, that was." He said Trump was, but the fact is Trump was giving truth and putting the truth in their face. And he wasn't hiding what they was putting. So, like I said, it's everything that happened. And then when it came to the second term, they stole it from him and they kept trying to impeach him. And they kept trying to do it because this is the hand of the enemy trying to do what they're doing. But it only gave Trump 4 years to set up what he planned on doing when he do run again. See, you got to understand, we're looking at things as it is. The Creator has seen everything. He allows things to happen, but he's seen everything as it's happening. So the fact,
but when they're bringing out all this stuff now about the Epstein and everything, they're putting it under the watch of Obama's watch.
Sound like this?
They want to lose Biden altogether, but they are putting it under Obama's watch because Obama was the one who was having the hot dog and pizza parties.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's right.
Publicity on the news about they call it a what do you call it when you're doing something to raise money, a fundraiser or
Mm-hmm.
some type of thing like that, and they were doing hot dogs and pizza parties.
But still, this stuff was going on way before Obama.
Yeah.
It was.
So,
It was.
so
When
now it
Obama
comes
was
out with Obama.
No.
You gotta understand what's going on.
He was in the place then. But remember, Obama wasn't just Obama. He was Attorney Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Then he became Representative Obama. Then he became Representative Obama for a while until he got to the point to where he was now the representative running for president. They were all in the club. This has been going on since
For years.
I would go back to 100 years. This has been going on a long.
That's what I'm saying. How come we're not hearing this on Carter's watch? We're not hearing this on Reagan's watch.
Because it didn't happen on Reagan's watch. It didn't happen on their watch. Happened. It exploded, or it came. It was revealed on Obama's watch.
And not only that, if you look at this, who is the one promoted gay marriages? Who is the one that ended up finding out being married to a transvestite that everybody still want to deny? Who is the one that actually pushed this stuff the way it's going? See, if you look at all the other stuff, the senior Bush, he was pushing the New World Order, and I really wasn't around because at that time I went to Germany. But when I came back, Clinton was in charge, and he supposed to be the Caucasian black man. From what I think I was still over in Germany at that time. But the point I'm getting at is that after Clinton and Bush was mainly when the quote unquote Twin Towers came down, when they actually stole all the funds up from the Twin Towers.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be when our Jubilee was supposed to happen.
You see?
And they didn't that whole big fiasco with 911 knocked out the Jubilee that we were supposed to get. So now they have to tend to that. It's always a big distraction when we come into the point of the Jubilee.
And not only that, you won't start to find when all these children start to come up missing is really after the time of Bush when Obama came in the office. Children start coming up missing everywhere.
Everywhere. It was every day you woke up, it was a child missing. Some children were just missing. They had those papers posted in Walmart like a dang on memorial.
On milk cartons everywhere.
On milk cartons, they had them all on the walls of Walmart. And it's like the children are missing. Especially in Georgia.
I remember that. That back in the early 80s. When I remember, have you seen me?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure did.
But it wasn't as strong. And I guess, you know why? I think that was happening for a long time. I remember hearing about this guy in Atlanta that I think that was set up. I really believe he was set up. But it was a guy in Atlanta, they called him the child, stealing childs and stuff as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of these things was happening, but the internet wasn't as strong as it was after Bush. When Obama came in, the internet really was exploding people was really getting access to the internet and how to push information. In the time over to Obama, this is when majority of the time you see cops killing people on the street. I mean, when I say after, and he wasn't doing nothing about it. And this is when Trayvon Martin got killed. This guy named Michael, whatever his name, got killed. All these people beginning to get killed by the cops. Getting killed, they go to a police precinct, they getting hung, and all kind of stuff is happening. All this mostly was on Obama's watch.
Right.
This is when stuff is really being exploded. Say again?
But it was nobody ever did anything, no matter whose watch it was on. They never did anything about the melanated people being harmed. They never did anything. But look at this lady, Nancy Guthrie. She's been on the paper, on social media and the news and all this other stuff since forever. And it's a whole total distraction. They never found this woman, Nancy Guthrie's mother, the one who played on the Today Show. Her mother is missing. They don't know where she is. They've been looking for her. They've never put any one of us, our people that look like you and me, on anything that long. It's going on 4 or 5 months. This woman, they're still talking about this case.
And I got a niece that came up missing, a 2-year-old niece that came up missing. Nobody know where she at today. So, and that was at the time, I think it was in 2013, I believe it was.
You know what I say? I said, how in the world can you go across the world and find a man, Saddam Hussein,
There you go,
down in a hole with $36,000? You find him buried down in a hole hiding. You can find him. But when it comes to your people in America, these young children, why in the world can't you find them? Unless
there's a plot behind it.
Reason why they're missing. Nobody can find these children. Somebody knows something. They don't just fall off the face of the earth. There has to be a reason that they're not finding these children. And a lot of times they were saying stuff was coming out, and yet still is coming out. DHS, Department of Human Services,
yep,
was one of the main people that were taking these children.
That is so true.
Police officers who are set up, that part of the sex trafficking.
Yep.
So if I'm gonna hide the child, why not? Why not hide it under a place where everybody think it's safe for them? They coming in taking people's children out their homes because they say, oh, they don't look like they're eating and your refrigerator isn't full.
I remember they tried that with me.
Oh yeah, they tried it with a lot of us.
Yeah.
They tried it with a lot of us.
You know what? But remember, that birth certificate, you are really theirs.
That's the problem.
That's it.
Yeah. They're coming back for they're the custodians.
But this is the reason why we're doing what we're doing right now. That's why I say this is the Creator's work. Because all this right here we just read breaks down to each reason why each king got worse and worse. If we look at our day of today's time, I wouldn't say today because we're getting better, we're growing out of it.
Yeah.
But between the 50s all the way down to the end of the 90s, might say to the 2000s, right? It got worse all the way down. It got to the point where to the Twin Towers. All this stuff is still, look, it's the same mirror image of what we're looking at right here. We can't see it in the form that we see it here on here, but we can understand it according to the form if you look at today's time and just look at the situations happening from the people who's in charge and just say they have done it worse than their fathers. They have done it because it's just getting worse as you go. Until when? The father's prophecy came across when he said, no different than Jericho. I mean, in Joshua prophesied in Jericho what's going to happen right here. This last verse in 1 Kings chapter 16. What he prophesied in Joshua 6, verse 25 to 27. Same thing going on today. The Creator prophesied that for 400 years we're going to be in bondage, and we're going to serve our enemies. Then he gonna judge that nation. When did he judge the nation? 2020. Coronavirus, which is not the nation as in one nation, the nation of Rome, which is the Roman Empire. He judged the Roman Empire by the coronavirus throughout the earth. Then he says, and afterwards they don't come out with great substance. But everybody's still in judgment right now. Judgment is still going on now. But he's setting us up. For those who are getting into our executive office, those who are getting in the correct place that they need to be in, he's setting us up right now for the great substance. But in this time of judgment is still going on.
Yeah.
Judgment is still happening. And we are in the right place at the right time to understand the way the Creator wants his stuff to be, and up to us to get in his line of fire, as in helping and doing what we're supposed to do, or get out the way. Get out. When I say get out the way, I'm talking about learn, get out the way and start learning and doing, or you just gonna be in the line of fire and you're gonna get caught up in all the stuff that's going on, what he said. And this right here is a splitting image of what's going on today. That's why you keep reading about this king, and he did evil, and this king did evil than his fathers. That's why I used to think, well, they keep saying that these people doing worse than their father. You just got to realize the further you go down, the worse it's gonna get. The further you go in, the worse it's gonna get. No matter how far you go, it's gonna get worse until you turn around.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Go ahead.
I have a question with that. So when the dynasty is gone, right? There's nobody else that can come up for it because God took that away. There's nobody else can come up. The people who are here, like the courts or whoever they claim themselves to be, they can't even touch it when the dynasty is completely gone.
That's right.
Right. So that's where he took out the Basha and Jeroboam, where that dynasty is completely gone. No more heirs or anything. So if any paperwork is still lingering around somewhere,
it ain't gonna be none. It's gonna be white. Put it like this. Just like when you read over here in chapter 14. What was that? 14 and 10. Read 14 and 10 again. 1 Kings 14 and 10. Read that.
Which one are we on?
1 Kings 14 verse 10. Read that.
Okay. Verse 10, it says, "Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and take away the remnant of house of Jeroboam, as a man taketh away dung, till it be all gone."
That's what he's gonna do to this system. He's gonna do the same thing.
I'm the end of it. I'm the end of my dynasty. Well, to me, is nobody.
No, you just gotta get someone to make something happen for your dynasty, because right now you're taking control of it. Let me give you the understanding to that. Hold on, real quick. You know me, I'm gonna give you facts. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah. Okay.
Right here, bam. Father, turn me right to it. Go to Numbers chapter 27, verse 5 through 11. I want you to read that.
Okay, Numbers. 1 second.
Joanne, I want Joanne to read it real quick, just so we can hear it.
Go ahead.
You there, Joanne?
I'm here. You said Numbers?
Numbers 27, verse 5 through 11. And I want you to listen to this, because I want you to explain it after she reads it, okay? Okay, Nicole?
Okay.
Okay, I want you to explain. I want you to listen. And then when she get through down to 11, I want you to explain what she just read.
Okay.
Waiting on you, baby.
Okay, I'm trying to get to it.
Okay.
You said 25?
27.
25 and 27?
27, verse 5.
Oh, 27 verse 5. That's why I keep moving 5 in my head. 27.
I'm about to show you, so I want you to listen to this clear, okay?
All
Nicole?
Right. I'm here. And Moses brought their cause before the Lord. And the Most High spoke unto Moses, saying, "The daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren. And thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then he shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsmen, that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Lord commanded Moses.
Right. Let's go back real quick. Now start at 1 and read through that so we can have an understanding of what happened. Start at verse 27 and 1 through 11 one more time. And listen to this, Nicole.
Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, I think that is, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. These are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, and Hagla. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And Milcah, and Tirzah, and they stood before Moses, and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes, and all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Lord, and the company of Korah, but died in his own sin, and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he hath no son? Give unto us, therefore, a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their cause before the Lord. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad, I think I'm pronouncing that right, speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession. And it goes back into where I read it. You want me to keep reading?
Yeah, keep reading.
Okay. I know. Okay. I got it. This is when. So, when she just read this, I just pictured when Moses, they cast Moses out, and Moses, when he, those women found him, all the daughters, and they had no brothers, and their father died, and so basically, my inheritance would go to my next of kin, which would be either Ronique or whomever I choose.
That's a part of your bloodline.
Right. So if it has no sons, it has to go to the next of kin.
There you go.
That's it right there. So so this is and I believe the oldest daughter was Zezalapha, whatever her name is.
That was the father.
The
daughters of
Those are daughters of Zelophehad, or whatever his name is.
Zelophehad.
Okay, so and the son of him.
Get these names right.
Okay.
Man.
All right. Yeah, so these were the women when Moses came out, and he was just exhausted from walking through that desert, and they found him.
No.
Those ain't the women?
No.
That's Hollywood, girl. That's Hollywood.
You're just going by the story. You're going by the story of Hollywood. This right here is a story while they was traveling through the wilderness 40 years and 40 nights. You know about that, right?
Right.
Okay. The 40 years that they was in the wilderness, they just shared with you at the beginning. That's why I had Joanne go back and read the beginning of it. When they said, why should their father be done? Wait a minute. Verse 2 is 3, that is. It says, our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves against the Creator, in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. See, he died in his own, meaning that whatever he did, the reason why he died because of whatever he died for. But the point is, he didn't have no sons. So they said, give us an inheritance as well. And the Creator just gave you a law through Moses, what he said. Remember I said earlier about the law? Remember you asked earlier about, you said earlier, but the only commandment we're supposed to keep is the 10. Remember I told you there's other commandments as well. We just read right here in verse 6, it said, and the Lord spake unto Moses saying, all this down here.
So Moses brought this to he brought this to the Lord before the Lord and told him and let him know that they have no brothers and anything, and then the Lord spake unto Moses saying and telling him if there's no daughters, if they have no sons, they get the possession, and it goes down.
Yeah. Don't now listen. Make sure you read and understand. When you go over words, understand what the word is saying. Because a lot of people skip over word and they start to think what they want to think. Go over the words, see what it's saying, and get the understanding of what's being said. See what I'm saying? Because right earlier, a few minutes ago, you said the daughters of Zillah. You thought it was talking about she was the oldest daughter. It said the daughter of Zelophehad.
That's the father.
Thank you.
Yes, that's the father.
And the law that Father gave Moses to for the women, the daughters, was a statute. He said this is a statute and a judgment. It is a statute of judgment for Israel. I read that in 11. And if his father have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family.
Right.
And he shall possess it, and it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Lord commanded Moses.
So that's a statute under the law.
Yeah, that's a statute.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So that what you will put that up under thou shalt honor thy father and mother. That's a statute under the law. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. This is a statute unto that. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
Now you understand what I'm saying? Say all these are laws, and you have statutes that's under them that goes with that law. So when it says thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother, this is like a statute unto that, because this is a part of the family.
Okay.
So this is the reason why we go through the book, to find out what the Creator said, how he said we should do it, and abide by the way it's supposed to be done. That's why this right here, now, this same law is in this system. The system ain't gonna let you know that, though.
Right.
You got people right now. My grandfather bought houses over on Kitchener or in the street. A lot of things that was supposed to happen. The grandfather was gonna give it to the youngest girl because she had an idea of knowing how to do things. The oldest boy, well, I'm gonna do this, and he took it and did nothing with it. Now somebody else got the house and the land. He bought the land around it. He bought several different houses and land and stuff like that. Now it's up for sale. It's out. I came back and tried to look into it. Really didn't know how to go about doing it, but somebody is. That house is the only one over there sitting up now and still in good shape, but they really rebuilding and putting stuff together in the house now. A lot of our family go by and just ride and look at the house because that's what our grandfather had bought, and that's what kind of like our family did. Was where we grew up at. On my summer vacation and winter vacation, I would go there and visit, be with my mother, my other mother, my biological father, and my other siblings and my cousins and stuff. We would go over to their house. And that was the house that we would be at. My father stayed upstairs. Granddaddy stayed downstairs. So, and this was a perfect example of just that point. Like, you got land waiting on you, which you know about, and I'm not going to mention here. But the land is ours anyway. The land. This, like I said earlier, this our land. The system, the land that ye know not, there you'll serve other gods, wood and stone, gods your father have known, is sitting on top of our land. This is our land here, but that land is sitting on top of our land, and their jurisdiction is under where everybody has been sold under as slaves. Can't tell you tell them that they can't see it, but that's what it is. It's all right here in the scriptures.
That is
I just caught something here. What we just read. Now, what the statute of what God says here? He ain't never mentioned the wife.
If you notice, it's all about the sons.
Right. So, and if he didn't have a son, then it says it'll go to the daughters. And if
Right.
the daughters, and if he didn't have a brother, or it mentions if he didn't have a brother to inherit it, or his father's brethren. So, but it never mentions anything about the wife.
And the reason
So,
why, that is because the man and the woman are one. So
gotcha.
if the wife is still there, she is going to be automatically included in whatever. The same way as if you are a mother and you have a son, and your son becomes executor of your estate, you are to be taken care of by your son.
Okay.
Your son is supposed to provide all your needs
Okay.
and wants, because that's what sons and daughters do. But that is why the woman is not mentioned, because the man and woman are one, and that includes her.
Okay. Okay.
Remember I said that in remember I was saying that in the law day in the fourth commandment about thou should keep remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Thou and thy son and thy daughter. Thou is you and the husband.
Right. He doesn't mention. He don't say man and wife. He say thou. That's because they both become one when they create the family. So he doesn't mention the wife, because the wife is to be taken care of by the family.
Gotcha.
If something should happen to the man, that is her, that they are together, or they are one.
Got it.
If you have understanding of that.
Yeah.
I got it.
So that's why when I talk to people about when about the lie in Matthew, I think that's 19, when the rich young ruler, this trips me out. When the rich young ruler come and say, I have done all commandments, what have I lacked yet? He said, well, if thou be perfect, go sell all your stuff and follow me. That right there, when I seen that right there, man, I was like, man, how you gonna tell me sell all your stuff and follow me? If you go sell your inheritance, you're gonna be poor too. You see what I'm saying?
Generation has nothing. So you left the whole generation of people poor.
Exactly. And that's the scripture right there that I actually use. I tell, man, now, you gonna tell me to go sell your whole inheritance. You got land, you got animals, you got cattle. Go sell all your stuff and follow me. That right there, that was another one in the new quote unquote New Testament. I said they put that there.
Yeah, because think about it. Most High said a man should leave an inheritance
That's
for
it.
his children.
That's right.
So why would he turn around? Because it just seemed like it's a lie that you calling Father a liar when his word says one thing, and then you turn around and say another and say that's what it is. He said a man shall always leave an inheritance for his children. If I'm gonna sell, if I got billions and I just give it all up to follow this one man, then I've left all of my children and my children's children and those children and their children and children after that, and to this day, poor. They're going to be struggling to make what they need to make because I sold it all to follow someone else. That does not make sense, and it is not Father's word.
And this is what I'm saying. When you start to show people the facts, and some people are so brainwashed to what they've been taught, they can't even understand it. So I'll be like, you got a car? I'll say, you got a car? Sell it to me. Sell it to me. Now you got to walk and catch the bus and get fried for someone else. That's your inheritance. If your father or mother left that for you, if you got a house, someone left that for you, some of these people are going, well, I just take the money. That goes to show their mind is of the Roman Empire. Money is not going to keep a house over your head. You might not even have enough to buy a house. You might have just enough to go get something to eat with. If you got an inheritance, you got land, you got a home, you got cattle, you even may have a river or a pond. You got stuff that you got to sustain you. But the Roman Empire has tricked everybody and made people think money is it. It's just about the money, like we were talking about earlier. People choose to be ignorant and dumb. They choose to be that way. And also, baby, when you had just said, it was something hit my mind I wanted to say, I just came back. When you just said, it seemed like calling the creator a lie, the difference is, it's not calling him a lie. Is what it is dumbfounding the people to make them ignorant to the truth.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, if you can't do what you don't know. A lot of stuff I'm sharing right here and what we're sharing and what we're talking about and the stuff that we know in the background of this information, people don't know and they don't even have a clue. That's why it's our job to bring it to them. That's why we go through the scriptures. That's why we talk about certain things. Even though we talk about the inheritance, we talking about the inheritance of a people. Like you saying a few minutes, Nicole. Well, I ain't got it, but you do got it. You know somebody in your family that can pick it up after you. That's why you got to get married. You got to get a man. You got to do something to keep your inheritance going.
Yeah.
But these people today have been so far off track. The women, I gotta be honest. The women have been taught by their women to be, we know the word feminist is there, but the point is they've been taught away from what they need to know in order to encamp themselves. That's the reason. I'm telling y'all, it's coming soon. That's the reason why 7 women gonna take hold of one man, and they're gonna take hold of one man because that one man gonna be knowledgeable on how to take care and do the things that's needed for them, for their inheritance. Once they come to learn what their inheritance is, which we know about. Me and Joanne, we know a great deal more than what we've been where we at right now because we try to get people on the next level. We're trying to get people on the next level. Once you get on the next level, you'll have a whole lot more than what we're thinking. But we got to get you there first. We can't put the cart in front of the horse. We got to make sure the horse is right and pulling the cart. So when we put more in it, it can go at its momentum. You don't want to put nothing before the horse because the horse ain't going to be able to take it. That's why we try to get everybody on the position that we're trying to get them to learn what they need to know to grow with what they need. But like you saying, Nicole, drop out your inheritance. I just gave you to understand your inheritance right here. And we just got through seeing a few minutes ago. Yahshua gave a prophecy way back in Judges 6 and what's that, 25, 26, and 27. For way up here that happened in 1 Kings chapter 16. But some people wouldn't when we first looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, now, that don't make sense. That's what I see at the moment. But where we at right now, we're at the conclusion of it because we study. That's the only way to learn, to know, to grow in order to study. And that's why we're where we at right now. Is there anything else that we want to share? Julia, are you there? Is there anything you like to share? We in the day now. I don't think you sleep at this moment. Sister Julia, did you get anything out of the conversation today? She might have quiet on us today. Sister Miller, did you get anything out of the information today that we spoke on?
Yeah, I did.
Tell us what you got out of the information that you know, just from what your thoughts. Speak on what you thought on what you picked up today out of the information.
Repeat that one more time.
Pick up and tell us what you picked up out of the information we spoke on today, out of the conversation of 1 Kings 16 or anything that we spoke on.
Well, pretty much to sum it all up, what I got out of it was like you just can't go against the grain. You can't fight the word. There's nothing higher than God.
There you go. Just gotta go with the flow, talk to him, allow him to open our mind to the things we don't know or don't understand, and just get close to him the best we can.
Yeah, because today looking at the word that when you don't when you don't go with the plans of the Most High, things happen to the fact, and it's sometimes it's a different aspect, but the majority of the times when you don't go with the plans that the Most High set, you cause other things to happen that are not supposed to be happening. If he's giving you instruction, then you need to follow the instruction to the letter and not be deterred by what you see or what you think, other than what the instruction was. And I've seen that a lot with things that we do, and then somebody comes in and say, "Hey, can we change it like this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or can we do it like that?" And it's like, follow the plan
That's it.
of the instruction that you were given, and then that way things will go much better for you. That's all I got to say about
Well,
it.
I want to share something just hit my mind to what you just said and what we've been talking about. Deuteronomy 13. Real quick, I just want to share with the same thing you just spoke on. Deuteronomy 13. Check this out. Verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, give you a sign or wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, or that means that if it happens, wherefore he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. See that? If this something come to pass, and they told you about it, and it happened, come on, let's go and do this over here. Let's go get this Bitcoin. Let's go get this cryptocurrency. Let's get, and they all into it. You don't hear nothing about the creator in it. You don't hear nothing about the creator say, let's get this together and let's do this. You don't hear nothing about none of that information of the creator in whatever is going on. But we got to do this. No, you're helping something move to a different order because it has nothing to do with something that's been here the whole time. Verse 3. Then shalt thou hearken thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. Don't listen to him or to her or whoever they may be. For Yah your father proveth. See, this is what I keep trying to tell. He's going to prove himself. He's going to prove himself and see what you're going to do. He's going to prove you. For Yah our father proveth you to know whether ye love Yah your father with all your heart and with all your soul. Ye shall walk after Yah your father and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice. And ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yah your father, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Yah thy father commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put evil away from the midst of thee. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or the son or the daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, I don't care if she that close to you, or thy friend, which is of thine own flesh, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods. Jesus, Yahshua, Prophet Muhammad, whoever they may be, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you. What land we in right now? Well, round about you, nigh unto thee, around about you, nigh, which is near unto thee, or far off from thee, from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. That's anywhere in the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall I pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be the first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people. That right there goes to show about these prosecutors, attorneys, and attorneys and lawyers. They're lying because when they come and tell you something, they wasn't there. They wasn't the ones to witness and see who said what. He said, "Thou should be the first one to do it. You. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he has thought to thrust thee away from Yah, thy father, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage." 11 and last verse. "And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you." Mainly saying all the stuff that we come to know, that we already know, according to the word of the Creator. Anything outside of that is thrusting you in a way of doing something that we ain't supposed to be doing. Excuse me. And this is what happens. Now over here, Robert Craig said he's already doing it as we speak, whatever it is we may be doing. But what the Creator is doing, he's doing everything as is happening right now. But this is where we at. And the whole thing is getting the understanding to keep the Creator's word, to do as he say do. All right. Is there anything else we might want to share before we get ready to pull out? Other than that, I'd like to thank Sister Julia for being here for the moment, Sister Miller, Sister Nicole Bell, and my baby Joanne. Thank y'all for being here. Right here. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. And before we go, I'd just like to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. Thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Is there anything you wanted to say, Nicole?
No, you still there?
Yep. We about to go.
No. This is good. This is good. Well, yeah, it is actually one more thing I do want to say. So, what I just read here, what you just read in 13. So, pretty much, when you spoke about the Bitcoins and, doing stuff like that, and when you go to speak for yourself, and basically you can't use this and still serve enough. You can't serve two gods. They can bring that upon you. When I say they, I'm talking about the judges, the prosecutors. These false witnesses can say, because when you're in that Bitcoin, everybody knows. So you can't speak God's words and still, you're still over here on this side too. If you're telling them that they can't do this, but yet you're doing it, can't they use that against you?
It all depends on what the conversation is about at the time, what they're speaking about.
Okay.
Because you gotta be, because don't forget, when you're in court, you gotta be supposed to be in there because of a crime.
Right. But when some people go in and they speak on, they use one half, they do this one half, and they say, well, you speak of this God and this you're under the creator of this person, but and remember, know that you're there for one thing. Sometimes they'll throw in and say, well, didn't you this year buy these coins or whatever, you bought gold and silver? That's not under your God. And see, once the jury hears it, it can't be unheard.
Well, that's just another conversation. I don't think it's talking about anything we're talking about right now. But that's another conversation that we can probably talk about according to whatever it may be about. Because, you know, the Father has sustained us with all things, and that's tangible. All tangible things is supposed to be of worth of wealth. Because if you remember the last few weeks, we've been reading, and if you was with me when I was not with me, but if you was in the scripture with us when we was reading, when they built the temple, they used things of gold, silver, well, not really silver, because they said, but they used all different type of metals, wood, and things like that to build the temple. So, and then the people was bringing forth, not usury, what they call it, they bring forth things in abundance in order to help the building of the temple and stuff like that. So, it all depends on what platform you're talking about and the way you're talking about doing it as well.
Okay, but that gold and silver was to build the temple, not to be sold. Like people.
Not that we know of. We don't know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know at that point. Right now, we just know the way the mindset of the people is in idolatry, the way they go about doing it. See, that's the difference. You know, you can work, you can do anything, but it depends on if you're worshiping it. Today, why do people call on Jesus, Yahshua, Emmanuel? Why do people call on them?
Because we was thrown into that darkness of that. We were placed in that. That wasn't a God that our fathers knew, but as our ancestors became more wicked, they left nothing for us to understand who our true creator was. It's just like if your grandmother always cut the leg off of the turkey.
There you go.
She put it in the pan. And everybody's just doing it. And then they say, well, what? I don't even know why she does this. Why does she do this? Well, you think it's a tradition, but the only reason why she was doing it is because her pan was too little. Right. So nobody left us to understand that we're just doing things now because it's a tradition. And the traditions of men have been taught to our people so that we're doing what they taught us. We're not doing what we know or the reason why we know we're doing it. We're just doing what they taught us.
And they would practically die telling you that what they believe is right and don't know half of what's behind it.
And that's what I'm saying. So anything that Father has put on this earth, anything that has been put on this earth, and even the men and their minds have been put on this earth, anything that has been put on this earth that goes against or above, if you want to put it above Father, then you're wicked and you're in idolatry.
That's right.
But if you want to use it as a tool, which is designed to help the people or wherever that where you don't put it over Father, then okay, because we see crypto and all this stuff and everything. This stuff didn't just come because the system is changing. You could either take crypto and be wicked and evil with it, or you could take crypto and make the world a better place.
Yep.
It all depends on your mind.
When I was talking about it earlier, exactly what you're saying is totally right. But I was talking about earlier, that's all people's mind is on.
Yep.
That's all their mind is on.
And that's where they're worshiping the crypto.
Yep. And you know what? So much it is on their mind so much to the point where now they have developed a plot with AI. Let me give it to you. They developed a plot with AI, and I'm realizing it as I'm speaking to you. Now they got something called trading, online trading, or what have you. You have to make sure you get online twice a day. Okay, y'all got to go ahead and do this. Get that money up. Your mind is always on that crypto. Your mind is always on that trading. And this is what you have been trained to do now. Now your mind is so much on trading, you ain't thinking about who thinks about the creator more than they think about, okay, my money ain't coming to me. Gotta make sure I get this money. 12 o'clock, gotta go do this. Boom. 3 or 4 o'clock, I gotta go do. Their mind is not being set on the trading Make sure they get in there and do it at a certain time, and it's going to go for itself. Got to make sure I make my money behind it, but their mind is being set on that trading. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just giving you an understanding on what's going on and what your mind is being reverted to. Because I tell you what, the same people that's doing that trading could be right here, right now. The same people that's doing all the stuff that they be doing could be right here at the Assembly of the Righteous, or doing what the Creator said do by resting on the Sabbath. It's even a part right here in the scripture. Let me get it. One last thing before we go. Let me get it. It's over here in Isaiah 58. Isaiah 58, I'm gonna show you when it says people, when you think you're supposed to be when they talk about fasting, and they talking about they stocks about, where is that at? Hold on. Right here. Here we go. It says, behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice be heard on high. Such a fast I have chosen. Is that where I was at? It was the one that talked about not only debating stuff, it talks about your stocks, trying to get your stocks and stuff together. Where am I at? I can't think exactly. Choose bands, wickedness, and heavy burdens. Go free. Break every yoke. Okay, this is to deal the bread to the hungry. It's to deal your bread to the hungry and stuff. I'm trying. My mind is right there, but I want to come right to it. Talking about the stocks. You shall, hold on. Exactly. Right here, verse 3. Wherefore have ye fast, so they and thou seest not? Wherefore have ye afflicted our souls, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Exact all your labors, meaning your stocks and stuff like that. That's in verse 3. I found out I started before it. Right there, verse 3 says, wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? How many people fasting and stuff that they don't take the knowledge and the stuff they put, because their mind is always on something else? Behold, in the day of your fast, ye find pleasure. You're fasting, but you find pleasure in the stuff that you're doing, and exact all your labors. You're exacting all your labor. Let me go and get these stocks up, but you're supposed to be fasting. Your mind supposed to be on the Creator. Your mind supposed to be in the Word. You're supposed to be focusing, trying to find out, or talking to the Creator and studying and researching and stuff. But where is your mind actually at? On the stuff of the day. Oh, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Y'all could be fasting in the 7th month, but y'all still mind on something. Your mind on something else. That's Isaiah 58 and 3. That's why, because I didn't tell you, but that's where my mind went to when I was thinking about what I was just talking about. So I just wanted to share that, and we can get ready to pull out, because I'm thinking about going to, it's this brother. I'm kind of tired too. I want to go to this brother's temple, or he got a place look like a church, but like a temple. I might lay down and get me a little bit more rest before I do anything. But other than that, I like to thank everybody for coming. I like to thank Julia, Miss Miller, Nicole Bell, and my baby Joe, Miss Joe, for coming. And we get ready to call it a day. But I think I did, but I'll do it again. What's that? Share with you that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And this is the end of Sabbath, Assembly of the Righteous. This is the end of part 2. We had a great one today. This is the end of 1 Kings chapter 16. Next week, we'll be in 1 Kings chapter 17 to share more information on where we are. And we get ready to go out to benediction, then the Shema. Then we're going to share with you how you can connect with us if you like. So other than that, we state. Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27 states, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put Yah's name upon the children of Israel, and Yah will bless them. I can share with you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shekevo, Bakuto Violam, Vaed. Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Bless you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We thank you for the word you've given us today to allow us to see, know, and grow in. We praise you, bless you, and thank you for all you've done to us, with us, and for us. We bless you, praise you, and thank you. Thank you for another beautiful Sabbath day. Bring us together as a family and let us grow in your holy word, spirit, and all things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father. All right. All right, family, friends, and the world. Hopefully everybody had a beautiful Sabbath right here with us today as we start every Sabbath at noon right here at the Assembly of the Righteous. But just to share with you, our private information that we have, or our private class, or our private information that we share, is on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, right here, excuse me. Oh, there we go. On Tuesdays, right here on, or at Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. We're right here. That's our only private class. We're right here on Tuesdays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and at 9:30 p.m. Not 9:30, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern, and at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. We're here at Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. Just text us your name, number, and email. Tell us your excuse me. Text us and let us know you'd like to know more about the sovereign classes. I'll send you some information at this text, or after you text me, your name, number, and email. And you'll in your email you will accept the invite, and then we'll go from there. But other than that, you can always call, or should I say, text me your name, number, and email at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. Excuse me. Or you can email me at lkhyym. Again, that's lkhyym@gmail.com. That's my email. And that number one more time is 770-572-5315. That's my number. If you can text me, name, number, email, tell me like to know more about the sovereign classes. That's on Tuesdays. We'll get that to you. All right. You can also connect with us on the public platforms. Oh, sleep is coming down on me. You can connect with me on the public platforms, which is actually on Zoom. Still, I send all this to you on Zoom at which is today, which is the Assembly of the Righteous, which is the day on the Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon. 12 p.m. noon, Assembly of the Righteous, right here on your on your Zoom. Sorry about that. Also, you can catch us on Sundays, right here. You can catch us on Sundays. Just text me the same information. But we're here on Sundays at um, 9 p.m. night after Sunday. We're here night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then you can also catch me on Monday, night after Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time as well. Night after Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then also we'll be back here on Tuesday again at Solving Class of Knowledge. On Tuesdays, forgive me y'all, I'm a little tired. It's coming down on me. So we'll be here on Tuesdays. Now, if you'd like to get on our public platform meetings, we're here at YouTube and at excuse me. We're here on YouTube and we're at X, formerly known as Twitter. That's X, formerly known as Twitter, and also on YouTube at JuicePro33, which is spelled JuicePro33. That's JuicePro33. You can like, subscribe, and share there, or you can catch me on X, formerly known as Twitter. Thank you. I'm sorry. Next is Facebook. You can connect with us on Facebook at Mikael Harris, which is spelled M-I-Chael space Harris. That's M-I-Chael space Harris. That's Facebook. And now for my Instagram and one of my TikToks. My Instagram and one of my TikToks is under L'chaim underscore the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. Again, excuse me. My Instagram and one of my TikToks is under L'chaim underscore the juice, which is LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. Now you can get on my other TikTok and my other YouTube. My other TikTok and my other YouTube. Put in your search engine, Michael the Juice Harris, which is 4 words combined to one, which is MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. All right. Now, last but not least, you can catch me on patreon.com/LKHYYM or rumble.com/LKHYYM. Again, that's patreon.com/LKHYYM and patreon.com/LKHYYM. Other than that, I thank y'all for y'all time, y'all patience. You're listening there, you're seeing, y'all can see it's coming down on me, so I'm about to go and lay it down. I'm see y'all in a minute. I thank y'all for your time, your patience. You're listening there, you're seeing, I'm going to pause Zoom just in case anybody want to have any conversation on for the moment. I'm going to pause you for the moment, and I'm going to say bye to everybody else, and then cut you, because I'm about to get some rest. So other than that, I think I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go because I'm just going to go from there. Everybody else, we have each other's numbers. We can call each other from there. Thank you for your time, patience, listening there, seeing I love you, appreciate love you, and always. Peace. There we
Recording
go.
stopped.
And there we go. Peace. Now, for Facebook, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening there, and your seeing eye. Appreciate love you. See you soon and always. Peace. There we go. and Instagram. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon. Peace. Oh, my throat getting dry. YouTube Live. Again, Craig, I hit you earlier, but I'm going to hit it again. I know you said he's already doing it as we speak. Thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon, and always. Peace.